historically.
Yes, I think with economics, Nigerians are also very passionate about politics and sports. But when we talk about politics, in the past week, the phrase that was on most people's mouths were the Dasuki Gate, the Dasuki scandal, or Dasuki you. You know, the Dasuki scandal, the Dasuki Gate, it's still in the news. Nigerians are still asking questions. They want to know, let us have more names. Let us know what is going to happen. Is this case going to go the way of many other cases, or are we going to have monies returned? And let's not forget, these monies returned are supposed to be able to help us in implementing our budget. So
actually, the federal government has close to 400 billion in the budget, possible inflows from recovery of stolen funds.
So Dasuki Gate is important.
So it's important, but first, it is absolutely important for Nigerians to know that Dasuki is not a convict of corruption.
He's innocent until
innocent
guilty
of the charges against him. It is an allegation.
Yes.
He has a case to answer in court. And so let's not jump into conclusion that because Dasuki has been arrested and he's been talking, that sadly he's been talking.
Yes, and he has been pointing fingers.
I cannot help contrasting him with another of his peer.
But you know, Dasuki has actually fought back, and he has gone to the ECOWAS court. So he's not just taking it
on grounds of the president's, the executive's refusal to respect court orders and all that. So he's those are legitimate. Back. Those are legitimate challenges that a lot of people foresaw.
So you foresaw him fighting back, not taking it?
It is important for a democracy that the three arms of government operate with the expected level of independence. So if there's a court ruling saying give this guy bail,
and you ignore it, then how do you want to move
then
forward?
You lose credibility to prosecute the person in the same court. Because the same court ordered a bail, you disobeyed, then you bring the guy to the same court to give you a conviction. You do not have the moral credibility to prosecute that person in the same court. And so I think the same thing applied to the treason case against the Nnamdi Kanu at one point, where he was granted bail and then the bail wasn't executed, he was rearrested, and all of those executive gimmicks to ensure that they keep him in custody. You know, those things, in my view, cast aspersion on the credibility, the independence of the judiciary.
Yes.
You know, and this is absolutely important. I think that this is an area that the current administration need to watch out for. They need to take deliberate action to show us that they are serious about civilian
and respecting the law.
Absolutely, because the personnel of the president is still military. So these events are not seen by most people as coincidences. They are seen as events engineered by the office of the president, because he does have antecedent as a military ruler. While this is also mere allegation, right? I think the presidency needs to deliberately take actions, be seen to be taking actions to ensure that the judiciary is as independent as is required for a democracy to function.
Yes, I think some people would also argue that, maybe they don't have enough evidence and that's why they don't want to.
So why make an arrest?
Allow the courts. But you could say that they have some evidence, but not enough. So let's work with what we have. But as you said, it's very important that the judiciary remains independent. If not, we might as well be back in military rule, but with civilian clothes.
You see, when you have a 19-count charge against somebody, then the whole argument of not having sufficient evidence for me is a joke. It's a 19-count charge. It's not a 2-count charge. The CIA was investigating FIFA for nearly 10 years before they made the first arrest.
Yes.
That's what you do when you're serious about
So it's not a question of rushing to the courts with minimal evidence. Get everything in place and then you can go to the court. So very quickly, the Eagles, the home-based Eagles, they are soaring. You spoke about soaring. So yes, they've been soaring, they've been winning, they've drawn a match. What are your impressions? Do you believe they have what it takes to go all the way and bring home the trophy?
In Africa, Nigeria always is a favorite. Okay,
yes.
even when we don't have the squad, we still feel that the Nigerian spirit will carry us through. And our footballers, sportsmen, kudos to them. They have been all our patriots, visible patriots have been sportsmen. Take them away from us, and there's little glue binding Nigeria together, you know. So yes, the Chan Eagles, the Chikatara boy,
yes,
Chison
Chikatara. I mean, he's been on fire. On fire.
And, you know, those are, I think the competition is a good competition. We get to see names we didn't know exist.
Yes.
3 lost on TV. And I was privileged to watch one of their games, not this competition, but the Chan before this one.
Okay.
I was in South Africa to see one of their games.
Nice.
Absolutely amazing, you know.
Okay. Well, we will remain very positive and hope for the best, that the Eagles will go all the way and deliver. It's been really great having you on the show, Mr. Leonard. Thank you for discussing, and you're always welcome right here on Rubbin Minds. Yes, it's still Rubbin Minds, and we'll be going for a quick break. But when we come back, there's something very special for women and for everybody that we will be discussing. Stay with us.